Hi YouTube. Well, it's time for another quasi-political video from me. So I was on FARC earlier, and I saw an article about how this substitute teacher wrote a letter to his Arizona lawmakers about how he was subbing at a school with a high Hispanic population, and a bunch of the students would not say the Pledge of Allegiance. They wouldn't stand for it. They said something about not wanting to pledge allegiance to the country that had stolen their land. He also said that most of the Hispanic students do not want to be educated, but rather want to be gangsters. And a bunch of other stupid shit like that. Well, the letter got read at a debate on immigration. As you can imagine, this has pissed quite a few people off, and there's questions about whether or not this actually happened, or if this guy was full of shit. There's outrage that it was read in a debate about an immigration bill, and there's cries of, you're being too politically correct, and cries of, you're ignoring the problem, and back and forth until their fucking lips are blue. I'm not going to comment on the validity of this. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to read you one of the comments I saw in this video, because it is my daily dose of what the fuckery. It is by a user named David. Now, David puts up at the top of his thing that he is David B, 14, from Texas. I went to his profile. He's not 14, he's 28, and so I already know he's full of shit. But he does something that I've noticed a lot, and that is he starts out his little rant with the words, "I am not racist." Have you ever noticed that as soon as that sentence comes out from someone, it's usually followed by a but or a however, and then what spews forth thereafter is the most bigoted bullshit you've ever heard? David is no exception. I have personally attended a 7th grade middle school that was highly concentrated in Hispanics. I am not racist. However, the truth is they don't want to learn. They are generally prone to violence and drugs and are also generally unintelligent. There are, of course, exceptions to these people, but for the most part, the Mexican youth in this country is corrupt in so many ways. They ruin good schools with their constant violence, with their drugs, and with their general lack of concern for anyone else. They beat each other violently, at least twice a day, for reasons ranging from looking at them the wrong way to just plain stupidity. Now, David has done something here, 2 things, that have irritated the shit out of me. The first thing, he has equated Hispanic with Mexican. Let me clear this up for anyone that does not understand the issue with that. Hispanic is an ethnicity, just like Caucasian is an ethnicity. Mexican is a nationality, just like American is a nationality. Do you get it? The problem with doing that is obvious. Equating Hispanic with Mexican. They're not mutually exclusive. Someone could also be Honduran, they could also be Puerto Rican, they could be Guatemalan, or they could be American. There are a lot of brown people in the US, folks, okay? Quite a few of them are American citizens. The second thing that David did in this paragraph that irritated the hell out of me was he put forth the same propaganda that has been spread about every minority group. He says things like, they're violent, they use drugs, and they're generally unintelligent. Well, the same shit was said about black people. And we all accept that that's not fucking true. We all know that's not true. The ones that don't are the dregs of society and the fucktards that so many of us make fun of. And yet somehow, this comment got almost 100 up thumbs. That's fucking sad. On to paragraph 2. Good students of all races were automatically turned gangster due to the constant pressure around them. Marijuana use was extremely common amongst people that would never have done it. Walls had graffiti on them. Hispanics carried guns and students were hit. Due to political correctness being too much a part of the American culture, people completely decide to ignore the facts. Schools are being overrun by them. They are killing any hope for a decent future. Their parents are voting Democratic each time in order to receive more financial benefits from the government. I love how David chose to put all the blame for the issues in the American school system on Hispanics. Let's go through and talk about some of the things he says are so horrible. Good students of all races were automatically turned gangster. Yeah, they went through a meat grinder like in Pink Floyd's The Wall, but instead of coming out with asses for faces, they came out with red and blue bandanas. Marijuana was extremely common amongst people that would never have done it. Alright, really? You're gonna blame that on the Hispanic panic? No. Look at me. I am white as fucking snow, and when I was in high school, I did the same shit. I smoked a lot. Am I proud of it? No, but it's something I did because I was a teenager and it was fun. It's not because some Latino kid with a glare in his eye and broken English came up to me and said, "Hey, you want a joint?" No. Also, the walls had graffiti on them. Really? That's one of your major issues? Someone chose to draw a fucking penis on the wall? Hispanics carried guns. Yeah. Some Hispanic kids do carry guns. Some white kids carry guns. Some black kids carry guns. You want to know 2 people that carried guns? These 2 guys. Right here. Now, they were not Hispanic. What do you got to say about them? Paragraph 3. I'm not saying get rid of good Hispanic students. I am, however, saying that there are some Hispanics that need to get out. I am extremely glad that someone decided to speak out against the obvious facts of reality. Stop being ignorant, America. Also, if you were to look up the statistics of schools that have a majority of Hispanic students, you would see that they are about a quarter of the quality of that aren't. Due to Hispanic couples' carelessness, they have babies in large quantities. Then not only are they not able to support financially, but aren't able to support in any other way either. Reality hurts, yes, but the facts remain the same. As the saying goes, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Take this from someone that has experienced this firsthand. Intelligence is no longer accepted among the general population of American students as a benefit. If I am the only one that sees this as a problem, then there is something out of place in our society. Ditch political correctness, because it is that way of living that will bring America and its youth to its demise. Thank you for reading. At least he thanked me for sitting through it, but honestly, I deserve an apology after reading that shit. Alright, I'm linking this in response to David's comment, so, sweetheart, if you're watching this, I got a couple of questions for you. Now, you say at the very beginning of this paragraph that you're not saying good Hispanic students need to get out. You are, however, saying that some Hispanics do need to get out. What is your suggestion for that? Because there are quite a few Hispanic American citizens. Do they need to take some kind of special test to allow them to stay here? Do they need to take some kind of IQ test to allow them to stay here? And if you do that, can we do the same thing for dumbass white kids? Can we do the same thing for, let's say, dumbass British immigrants? Or is it just the brown ones that you have an issue with? Is it just the ones that aren't quite as pale as you that you have a problem with? Another question I have for you is, in here as well, you also say, stop being ignorant, America, and thank the person for speaking out against the obvious facts of reality. Are you going to thank me for pointing out how fucking ignorant you are and how racist you are? Probably not. I also want to know, how the hell you think you can sit here and say, due to Hispanic couples' carelessness, they have babies in large quantities? That's not exclusively a Hispanic problem, sweetheart. Go to Walmart. You will see the same trashy-ass women carrying around 7 fucking kids that they can't feed. And they're not all Hispanic. They're not all black. A lot of them are white. What's your issue with them? I don't see you bitching about them. And this goes into you also saying in the last paragraph that the parents are voting Democratic each time in order to receive more financial benefits. Yeah, those same trashy-ass people are doing the same fucking thing. And it's not necessarily something bad to vote for something that you know is going to help you. Now, despite your claim at the beginning of this comment that you are not a racist, I call bullshit. Because, as you say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and I'm guessing from some of the shit you've said that your dad liked to sit on the front porch with a shotgun and a tall boy and wait for Darky to come into his sights. As for your last sentence, ditch political correctness because that way of living will bring America and its youth to its demise. Sweetheart, people like you, people like David, are the ones that are going to bring America down. The ones that are keeping us in the fucking past and not moving on. And again, I think it's funny that he's talking about America's youth when he's pretending to be 14. Because, well, darling, David, if you really were 14, knowing that you would be the future of America and you thought like this, I'd be stocking up on the canned goods right now.